Good evening and welcome. See if I can figure this out. It's been a while. Good to see you all again. I say all. Good to see you, Tato. Still top of the league, I guess. Let's have a quick look at the table while we just wait for people to join. Um, Ross would like to get the nothing game out of the way, says Ross. Yeah, indeed, we could potentially do that. Welcome, Ross. Nice to see you. Um, yeah, let's remind ourselves just briefly what's at stake here. Fifey is obviously taking good care of you. Um, and the things that's at stake, the things that are at stake, rather, is of course most importantly the queue. Um, so yeah, we have five teams already qualified. We have East Coast, we have Northern Burn, and we have Los Santos fighting it out for the last spot. So of course we're going to do those games in sort of the order that makes sense. Los Santos first, then Northern Burn, and then finally East Coast to see who eventually gets it. So that's going to be exciting. At the top of the table, it's also Badgers and Exiles fighting it out for the first spot. So that's going to be um, interesting to see how that goes as well. I can see both Alf and Ross are here, so I think we have a sort of an opener, an obvious opener, Sloth versus Sancte. We can go with this one, and then we'll see as people are joining for the rest of the games. It would obviously be nice to have people here for the games that could decide. I won't say their future, but could decide the sort of the playoff picture and who's going to be the final six, who's going to be in those games that we're going to try and get on the road as soon as possible. So, once again, thank you very much for your patience. Obviously, it's much appreciated, and hopefully, we'll be hearing a lot more of each other in the upcoming weeks, months, years, whatever it is. So yeah, without further ado and without too much sort of rambling on, I think we should just dive straight into this one with Sloths against Sancte. Um, First of all, here are Sloths. It's the season 16, season 18, the end. Um, we have yeah, another iteration of the sloth tactic. Tonetto is still in there. I see Emmanuel Pablo on the wings, Valgar and Woodgate at the back, Sadov and Gerard the attacking midfielders that are slotted into the DMC roles with the arrows. Franca Battaglia is the captain there in the center. I'll try different things. Obviously, um, it'll be a return to, I forget the name. It'll be a return to an orange thing, presumably for Alf and his boys in the next iteration of the Super League. Which more on that another time. But those are slots for this evening. Let's go back to sloths. There we go. Proceed to match, and they are up against Sancte. Sancte, they are risking Crespo, who's carrying a bit of an injury. This is the finale, so the last roll of the dice for Sancte. See who of the two sides can end up with Asta Athletic. You're right, Alf. I forget. But indeed, that will be a sight to behold. The return of Asta Athletic, indeed. We'll see if Sancte can get their I guess fourth win of the season in what has been a bit of an uphill one for them. So it's the battle to gain the most amount of wins of the bottom two is what's on the line this evening. Sloths familiar red and greenish, Sancte in white and yellow away from home. We kick off the first game of the final round of the season 18, and it's Clarence Seedorf who opens the scoring, just 2 minutes played, and already Sloth take a 1-0 lead. We'll see what Sancte will do in terms of responding to this. And not a whole lot so far, it would seem. Slowly, things are starting to happen. And there was Crespo. He's holding up well considering he's carrying that knock. And we reached halftime. Sloss are leading 1-0, 2-1 in terms of shots on target and off for the sides respectively. If we look at Sancte first, 7 for the goalkeeper, 7 for Sean Davis, and 7 for Carrick. Crespo, he's the one who's having the shot, so he's doing pretty well. I believe it was Giggs who played for months injured anyway for Badgers last season and did relatively well. So yeah, not the worst start for Sancte apart from the conceded goal. A bunch of sevens for Sloths, so slightly better for them. The assist came for Horst Valgaren of all people. Um, I'm not sure what happened there, but anyway, Sadov was the one who got the opener for the home side. We'll wait and see if anyone has any changes to make here at 45, or if both managers are happy enough to roll. Jeeple Sis on a yellow, Bridges on the bench, along with Emre and Sowery, Kirkland, the goalkeeper, of course, for Ross, if he wants to make any changes. Meanwhile, for Sloths, it's Kuricini, Barry, Rosicki, and Christian Tim who are on the bench. But it looks as everyone has done enough to be sort of kept on, I guess. Alf says as is. We'll see what Ross says as well. Evening, Steve. Good to have you here. We'll see how Dudley get on this evening, and both managers goes as is until 60. Easy for me. Let's see what happens. First 5 minutes, nothing. And it is Sloths again. Here comes Smith, and there's Franco who's allowed to run, but Carrick with a good clearance results in a corner. Sloths try to get something out of that, but were thwarted by the Sancte defense. There comes Crespo going forward again, hits the crossbar with that injured leg. He picks up the rebound, but Eleftheropoulos is there to save it. And there is Cisse as well with a chance for Sancte. So, yeah, it's definitely been more Sancte. Um, right. That's oddly specific, Steve, but looking forward to it. Sancte, Dibble is on a 5. Everyone else is still on 6s. There's a 7 there for Beckham, who's played himself into it a little bit. It's still Crespo getting all the chances. Roque Santa Cruz and Dibble Caesar there next to Crespo, not doing a whole lot. Will we see Michael Bridges for Cisse? It's dangerous with Crespo still carrying that injury, but we will see what Ross decides to do. Of course, longer arrows are potentially an option as well from Davis and Carrick. Let's have a look at slots in the meantime. Sadov is now on an 8. He's been doing pretty well. Eleftheropoulos 2. Only Manuel Pablo, who's usually a sort of a solid performer for sloths, is maybe letting the side down a little bit. He's on a 6 due to some poor passing. In terms of fitness, I know that Alf likes to keep an eye on that. Everyone is doing pretty well, so it's just the ratings you have to kind of concern yourselves with at this point. That goes for both managers, of course. We'll see who blinks first, or who wants to do something first. Alf goes as is. I guess holding on to a 1-0 win with everyone performing decently is it's a decent position to be in. Ross, we'll see if you're interested in doing anything. I guess Michael Bridges, Emre, I mean, Sowery could come on as well. Ashley Cole's not done brilliantly. He is solid though. And indeed, it is Ashley Cole for Zowery and it's Bridges for Cisse. Excellent. Last half hour coming up in this opener. Let's see if Slots can hold on. Oh, they're going to have a bit of a. It's, it's going to be tricky. Slots have got a man sent off, so that's kind of an issue. Eleftheropoulos will be selected as captain. Of course, Ross, as Slots have had a man sent off, it's up to you if you want to make any changes, if you want to push Ferguson forward or something else. As I remember, the rules are the team that have a man sent off can kind of centralize or not do anything else. I can't remember. But anyway, Sancte, it's balls in your court if you want to move anyone around or do something. I should probably read up on that. Emre could potentially come on in an AMC role, I guess. We'll see. We'll see what Ross says if he wants to make any changes. If not, we can also just roll. Captain Battaglia sent off for the hosts. Evening, Alex. Good to have you here. See how Stackington gets on this evening. There's still, of course, positional places to be played for or to be decided. 3, 4, 5. I don't think they're set in stone yet. I think they're all kind of on 42 points or there or thereabouts. Um, doesn't look as if Ross is going to do anything. Oh, here we go. Extend arrows on Sari and Bex, please. Excellent. Good stuff. Good stuff. 25 minutes to play. Let's see if Sancte can find an equalizer up against the 10 men of Sloths. It's Beckham coming forward with that pass. Franca is there. They're creating plenty. They're having a lot of chances. Electropoulos is saving a lot of them. We'll slow down a little bit just for the last 10 minutes here. Sancte has definitely had the better of it the last sort of 20, 25 minutes since that sending off. But they have yet to find the back of the net, of course. Electropoulos has been a tough opponent for Hernan Crespo this evening, who is, of course, carrying a little bit of an ankle injury. Smith is furious about the referee, but he escapes the red card. It's just a yellow for him. Here comes Sauri forward. Manuel Pablo cannot stop him, and it's from 20 yards out. There's Beckham with a spectacular drive, but it clips the bar, I think it was, and went over. Here comes Santa Cruz, smashes lows into the side netting. Plenty of chances for Sancte, just cannot find the back of the net. Will they be punished by Sloss here right at the end? It certainly looks like Sloss are going to have the last chance of the game cleared off the line by Kivu. Here is another chance. Ferguson gets rid of the ball there. 6 shot, only one on target for Sloth. Sancte coming very much back into it here, but it just was not enough. Rocky Santa Cruz ends on a 5. Sauri, who came on, is on an 8 with those long runs. Chat is well delayed to you seeing it for me. Uh, yeah, I don't know how to fix that, unfortunately. Sorry. Um, Sloss, meanwhile, Clarence Seedorf gets Man of the Match award. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the evening. I could stop and restart the stream, of course. Not sure if that would help. It looks as if it's okay, the stream health. So, any problems, give me a shout. I'm not entirely sure what I can do to fix it with my limited technical capabilities. Evening, Scott. Commiserations, Sancte finishing bottom of the table, Sloths just above them with 4 wins for the season. Seedorf, the man of the match in this last one. Um, Potentially Los Santos against Haggis coming up, and we'll just have a look and see what other fixtures we have here. Steve says he'll be back, so that's fine. Badgers are there. We have got Foss Road against Exiles. I guess Carl is doing stuff elsewhere. Um, and Stackington against Vikings. Um, yeah, it's all, I mean, it's all still to play for. Question is, who do we pick up next? I'm just trying to check the stream here. Oh, here is Mr. Edwards. I'm just trying to check what the delay is on my stream. I guess it's around 10 seconds or so, 5, 10 seconds. So it looks okay on my side. So apologies for that. But get mine on. Badgers against Fulchester. No worries, Mr. Edwards. I'd rather get Exiles on first and then you, to be honest. But who are Exiles playing? That's the question. They're playing Foss Road. Um, Burn should be last, surely. No, East Coast are going to be last, surely. Because if East Coast win, then Burn have to win by like more. No, keeping the drama alive. Is that not the same thing? Does it matter if we go East Coast or Burn last? I mean, I guess. East Coast are better on the goal difference though, so they should go last. I guess that's my point anyway. But I guess it doesn't really matter. Um, Burn could, of course, still need it. Could still win it with a big win, I guess. Um, anyway, where was I? That's to you. I mean, you go first. No, LSK goes first, then Northern Burn, and then East Coast. If Burn win, my dream's over. Now, yeah, so you go first, and then the other ones can go after. You can dream for a little bit longer if both Burn and East Coast lose. Anyway, what am I talking about here? Foss Road against Exiles. Let's do Foss Road against Exiles because that'll be fun. We want to see if Exiles are going to put pressure on the Badgers, so that's what we're going to do. Foss Road, I believe, I forget what the change was. Saeed out for someone, Cambiaso, I guess it was. Um, no, no, no. Edwards can wait. Edwards can wait. The suspense, this can wait. Foss Road Unicorns, I think someone came on for Saeed, so that's all good. Exiles are unchanged. Exiles up into second place, obviously, putting the pressure on the Badgers. Let's see what Exiles can do here. They do need to win. If they don't, then Badgers are free to go. First place secured. So let's see. Let's kick this one off and see how it goes. I think Smuts might be busy playing with Fifey, but that's okay. I think. I'm not sure if he has the stream on in the background. If he does, then he can come and do stuff. But let's see. I think it'll be okay. And of course, his opposite number is not joining. I think. I don't know if Neil has been on the last couple of streams, but we'll see what happens. Well, it's good news for Badgers so far. Exiles and Foss Road are drawing 0-0, so the balls is very much still in Badgers' court. They can decide their own fate. They might not even have to do anything. Um, in terms of the first half, it's not exactly been thrilling. Smooch is on an 8, and so is Richard Wright in the goal. And for Foss Road, oh, you are here, Mr. Late Limbs, pretending to be a 15-year-old with 5 feet. Perfect. Kieran, the high Enigma Tulian are doing pretty well. But yeah, as is, says the manager, so we roll until 60. God, just thirsty work this. I forgot talking this much. Say Roberto, even Cordoba combining Raul, try to find Vieri. Vieri, one of the top scorers of the season so far, of course, for Exiles, the danger man. Foss Road have got a couple of good goal scorers themselves. We'll see if any of them are going to actually break through and open the scoring here. 5 minutes left until we stop it on the hour mark. Let's see what's happening. Here comes Nesta. There's Raul, and it's Vieri. Raul is there again to the byline with a cross. Say Roberto, who's done so well this season, among the top average rated players, but fails to do anything about that. 3-1 for Exiles, only the one on target, 3 for Foss Road. They are certainly in the ascendancy still here. Smooch is on an 8, so is Right. Nothing has changed much in that respect for Exiles as we reach the 60-minute mark. For Foss Road, they have got a Trezeguet, Agahawa, and Oya on the bench, of course, coming on as attacking options. Given that everyone's on 7s and 8s, manager is probably going to stick, unless he fancies Trezeguet to come in for back, maybe, I guess, but back's on an 8. Ronaldinho, you can't really take him off, can you? And Van Nistelrooy, you're not going to take him off either, I don't think. Smarts is going to do anything, to be honest. I think it's going to be an as is from the Foss Road manager, crossing the fingers and hoping for the best. I think they're in 5th, 4th, something like that at the moment, but we will see. Some big names in there in that Foss Road squad, of course. They have had a pretty decent season. It's difficult to judge when the top 5 is within 4 points, isn't it? Really, to say who's had a good or who's had a bad season. Ooh, rolling the dice like crazy here, putting me to shame. Oya for Dyer, Agahawa for back, and Trezeguet for Ruud van Nistelrooy. Let's get some fresh faces on and see how this goes. Will the fresh legs make the difference, or will Exiles come up and do a sucker punching thing? They will not. Totti has scored. Totti puts Foster Road 1 up against the Exiles. 9 minutes to play now, and there's Ronaldinho seals the deal. And Badgers can celebrate. They have, without lifting a finger, finished top of the table. So congratulations to the previous reigning champion, Teto Mourinho. And oh my goodness, there's another one. That's for Trezeguet as well. Exiles really being put to the sword here. They've had a difficult second half to the season in the past, Exiles. It looks as if they kind of left their weakness until right till the end. And Smuts does Badgers a favor here, pummeling the Exiles and ensuring that Badgers finish top of the table, regardless of what happens the rest of the evening. Match stats pretty good. Sexual chocolate 9 and 8, 5 and 2. Trying to throw this game on purpose with those 3 subs, you mean? Mendieta, poor from him. Everyone else doing also badly, but not as bad. Foss Road, an assist for Kevin Hoffland, who gets a 10 for 9 completed tackles out of 9, 7 of them key, and an assist. Brilliant performance by him. Yeah, but tough opponents, Foss Road, if anyone's facing them in the next game, or for whoever's facing them in the next game. That's going to be a tricky one. Gerard with an assist there as well. Finding form right at the right point of the season, I guess. So congratulations to Foss Road on that big win. Um, Fixtures. What else have we got we can throw at it? We'll wait with Stackington because Steve might be here a little bit later, so we'll wait for that. What else have we got? This one we've already done. What's the most long can this miss? Potentially, yes. Badgers against Fulchester. Do we do Badgers against Fulchester? Get that one out of the way, and then we dive into the Los Santos and all the exciting stuff. I think we do. I think we do Los Santos now. Oh, sorry, I think we do Badgers now. Um, they have a lot of suspensions, so these guys will be back. Um, yeah, there's not a lot to say about this. I mean, Matty Holland finally dropped, so Salihamidzic gets a kind of a rare start. I think he was brought in from Los Santos in the hope that he would do something on the right hand side. But the interim right hand midfielder, Matty Holland, did a brilliant job 741 and 6 assists. He's been super, super solid. And yeah, looking good for the Badgers. Over on the other side is Rayad because Giggs is long term injured, 3 months with a broken leg. That's never good. But of course, Michael Owen, the story of the season. Who saw Michael Owen getting 14 and 15 in the Super League? I don't think many people did that, but we'll see if he can add to that tonight. It's the Badgers up against Fulchester, who made a couple of changes. I think Keane is coming back in. There was a defender as well. Jagatas has come back in, and someone on the bench. I can't remember. There was bench action anyway. Forget exactly who it was. It was maybe Viduka. I should probably double check this in case I've messed it up. I'm sure there was something else. Um, I can't remember to be honest. Jagatos comes on for Junior. I believe it was, which makes sense. Michelini swaps with Keane and Keane swaps for Alex and all this arrow stuff. It looks good. It looks good. Apologies for that. I just wanted to double check that. Here we go, indeed, Badgers. Let's see if you can go out on a high, finish on a high note, finish the regular season on a high note. Michael Owen getting in the goals, avoid injuries, and enjoy your upcoming finals. Um, let's see. Pizarro hits the side netting. Fulchester up and down season as usual for them. A bit more down than up, as usual for them. Unfortunately, Dan has been very patient. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Damiano Tomasi picks up a red, I guess, something like this. Maybe without the arrows. I don't know. Um, we'll see what Tato wants to do here, but he has conceded a penalty. I think it was with just a few minutes to go in the first half. Um, no arrows. Okay, fair enough. Um, good. And was it a penalty? I think it was a penalty. It was Jagatas, and he scores, puts the penalty away. Fulchester goes 1-0 up. Um, Leicester have been doing okay, though. I don't think Fulchester have been without chances. Oh, actually, it's been fairly even. Um, 3-2, 4-3. Fulchester with a solid final performance here. Sebastian Frey's on an 8. Uh, all sevens and just a couple of sixes. Badger says as is for now. Tomati gets a 5. Sixes for Thierry Henry and Michael O. Not really doing a lot up front. We roll until half time or until 60 then. Um, let's see. Was Fulchester looking slightly stronger again in the second half, going past Salihamidzic? A few people have done that so far. Klomper picks up a yellow for hacking down Danielson. There's Kutuzov with the free kick. It's a goal kick for the Badgers. Coming up to the hour mark, let's see if anything else happening. It's Ashley Lythe, unable to control the ball. Jack Gattas, keen. Lucius going to pick up a yellow there. There's a free kick. It's Brooking who takes it, but it's a goal kick for Badgers, and we have reached the hour mark. It has been all Fulchester in the second half as well, and they're doing well. Jagatta's on a 6 though, despite getting a goal from the penalty. Kutuzov on a 6 as well, but no sort of terrible performances from them. Solid for Mayala in the defence. Badgers, oh, I mean, Michael Owens on a 6. I was singing him his praises before the game. It's not looking too brilliant for him now. We'll see if the manager wants to do anything about that. Um, apart from that, everyone's actually doing okay. DJ Agat could maybe come on. Yellow cards on both central defenders. Agat can play a DC, but maybe not the best. Low positioning, poor jumping. Maybe best to keep him out of there. Um, let's roll with Kessman on the bench. Let's roll. Let's see if Badgers can do something last half hour coming up. The 10 men, can they find motivation, energy, passion, and power to get back into this? Or has the news of Foss Road's demolishing of Exiles reached them already and they just don't care because they've already won the league? Who knows? Um, looks as if this one's going to fizzle out. Just a couple of minutes left to play now. There are chances, but indeed it does fizzle out. Badgers didn't really do much. 6-3. Fulchester did a little bit more. It was enough for them to claim 3 points and the victory. Um, boys have been celebrating already. Ashley Lythe somehow squeezes into a 9 there. I'm not entirely sure that's justified, but never mind. we'll we'll take it. Uh, GG's to Dan. Indeed. Excellent. Now let's get into it. Let's get into the funny business. Scott was definitely here, and presumably he still is somewhere. He's up against Haggis. Not heard from Ian. Um, so let's see. Um, let's see how it goes. Los Santos squad update. I believe it was Petit back in at DMC, Dacour into central midfield. I think they were the changes for him. They're on a solid run. I mean, it looked as if Los Angeles were nowhere near the playoffs, but look at that. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 1-2, 2-1-1. That's what, 5 wins in 6? That's pretty insane form. They're up against Haggis. Yeah, you'd think with the way the Haggis have been playing, you'd think that Los Angeles are sort of slight favorites going into this one. Um, I mean, we will see. We will see what happens on the night. I hope, Scott, I hope you're ready, because this is kind of like the big moment for you. I mean, 3 points here, and the pressure is very much on for both East Coast and for Northern Burn. What a what a final 5-6 games for Los Santos here. Um, and they are up against Haggis, unchanged, and I mean, they've not been terrible as of late. Haggis, they did beat Sloths, but they also lost to Dudley. Big win against Foss Road at home, but yeah, very sort of like not brilliant in terms of performances, in terms of results. So yeah, that's Haggis back, um, and we will see how it goes as Haggis takes on Los Santos. Good luck to Scott. 3 points incoming, maybe. Haggis in there, away kid. Let's kick this one off. Los Santos looking for those 3 points, looking for a way into the playoffs. On the final day of the season, can they do it? Northern Burn and East Coast still to play. They will have to beat Haggis, of course. That's going to be a kind of a biggish ask on its own, but maybe. I would say they've had slightly the better of the chances in the first half, but it goes straight to halftime. Yeah, they did have the better of the chances. Haggis not really created anything at all. 2-1 for Los Santos here. Absolutely nothing for Haggis. Let's have a look at the Haggis number 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, a couple of sevens. There is an 8 for Walter Samuel, but he is on a yellow. Good defensive display from him. Meanwhile, Los Santos, it's a 9 from Emmanuel Petit. The manager will be very happy that he was back for this one. But Anelka's on a 6, and so is Ortega. The question is if there's anything Los Santos can do here. Their options on the bench are Marquinho Welsh and Morientes. We'll give it a couple of seconds here and see what Scott wants to do. Um, Obviously, a huge one for Los Santos here. They absolutely need the 3 points. I'm not sure what any of the managers feel about this. Um, let's see. Marquinho for the court. Swap with Zidane. Straight arrows on both here at 60. That's the change from Los Santos. Nothing from Haggis. Been a while since I've heard from Ian actually. Hope he's okay. Hope he's okay. Let's roll until 60 and see what Los Santos can do here. Still looking for that opening goal, still looking for that way to the 3 points to put the pressure on the two teams in front of them. There comes Artego, there is Harasimovic, put under pressure by Hipia, unable to make the most of the chance. Los Santos still hoping for something to happen. There comes Montella, though, hits the ball upfield, and there's Inzaghi dangerous striking partnership, but that one goes over the bar. They combine again. Carlos Shax is in there as well. Who was this? Someone picked up a yellow card. Collins picks up a yellow card. Free kick for Haggis. Nothing comes of it. Shot deflects off the wall. Haggis hold on to the ball. Haggis certainly been a little bit better in the last 5-10 minutes here, but things are swinging back in Los Santos' favour. Off the bar, though, from Petit. Hipia comes forward. There's Inzaghi. There's Carlos Shax. Harasimovic down the other way, and there's Broncos picking up a yellow. It's very much back and forth at the moment between these two sides. Zidane, there's Collins, hard tackle. Anyone get a yellow? Nope. It's Zidane with a free kick, deflects off the wall. Hello, Dimple, joining us just in time for the real action here, the battle for the last cue. Um, Los Santos currently 3 shots, one on target to Haggis's 2 and 1. Haggis's tactics, obviously keeping Los Santos pretty much at bay, but they aren't really creating a whole lot themselves. Inzaghi has had a shot, and so has Giovanni van Bronckhorst. I believe that was a free kick, maybe. Not really looking super dangerous, Haggis. But unfortunately for Los Santos, neither are they. We do have Morientes on the bench, obviously a former proven goal scorer. I believe Hodgie had some goals out of him in the past with brilliant flair and finishing. Is he the one to come on for Anelka? Um, that is kind of the only striking option on the bench. And then, I mean, John Welsh didn't really work out for him, but he does have some 20s. Central three, I like to see that. David Collins is on a yellow. He comes off. Morientes goes in there, and it's a front three for Los Santos. Um, you can't really. Sorry, sorry. Out Harasimovic central. Huh? Sorry, put Harasimovic central. Okie dokie. So like this, I guess. I'll just wait for Scott to confirm that. It's quite important, I guess. But I think that's right, isn't it? Orientis for Collins, Magic. Okay, okay, okay. Well, let's go then. Let's go. Let's see what's gonna happen. Los Santos, can they do it? 3 man on top. We'll keep it at this furious pace because we need to be able to make sure that we keep an eye on what's going on here. Figo advances. Figo to Petit Simao somehow does stuff that prevents Los Santos from scoring. Who would have thought it? Um, Haggis now comes forward. Montella. Oof, Andre with a good save. Haggis wins the corner. Harasimovic heads it away. 15 minutes still to play, plus added time. There comes Sylvester forward. There's Anelka. But Walter Samuel is there to pick up the pieces and put it down the other end of the park. Andre gathers a ball, sends it upfield, goes out for a goal kick. That's long. Haggis now comes forward, beats Ortega. But Andre, I think, again gets involved. Petit does something brilliantly. But Haggis seems to be stopping them in their tracks. And Nelka past Samuel will goes past Hipia. Saved by Iker Casillas, cannot hold on to it. And Nelka must score, and he does. The manager has done the right thing to keep him on. What a solo goal by Anelka. Goes past two defenders, shoots, keeper saves. He's there to pick up the loose ball and makes it 1-0. But it's not over till Fat Lady sings, as they say. It's Haggis Jacques. Carlos Jacques. Will he come back to haunt his old manager? It looks as if he won't, but there are a couple of minutes still to play. There's rebounds to Bauma. Plenty of chances for Haggis. Very, very nervous times at the Los Santos end here. Will this be the last chance of the game? Inzaghi comes forward. There's Jacques. Terrible effort by Carlos Shax. If only he could have finished it, that would have been absolutely epic. But the story is written that Los Santos picks up the 3 points and Haggis loses. There was no dramatic comeback from Carlos Shax there right at the death. Congratulations to Los Santos on winning that one. All they can do now is, of course, to wait for the outcome of the Northern Burn and the East Coast matches. Let's have a look at the Haggis stats. They did okay. An 8 for Walter Samuel. Solid defensive display from him. If we miss out on 40 points, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, that would be cruel. Ariel Ortega got the assist. He was looking a little bit ropey at halftime, but he got a 9. He got the assist and the man of the match award. And Nelke with that beautiful goal. He had all 3 chances from the attackers, obviously. A Petit as well there. David Collins got pulled, and yeah, that's how it ended. In the interest of going in the order that was sort of pre-decided, we go for Northern Burn against Stanley next. So hopefully both managers are still here. This could be exceptionally exciting as well. Northern Burn against Stanley. I think there's only one change for Northern Burn. Is Patrick Vieira coming back in for the suspended Lee Boyer. League top scorer Emil Impensa is in a solid form with 3 9s in a row. We'll see what he does this evening. Cannavaro's on a yellow, Campbell's on a yellow. That could be an issue. I can't remember if the yellow cards are carried over. I think we have this conversation every year. But anyway, here are Northern Burn looking to finish the season on a high, 3 points, and hopefully for them get into that playoff spot. For Red Rose Stanley, Paredes comes in um, for for Ronnie Johnson, I think. Guillermo comes in for Ronaldo, and something else happened. I can't remember. Uh, was there something else? Possibly. Um, it takes I was going to say it takes a little bit of time to get back into this. I obviously always have issues remembering what I did like literally half an hour ago, but I think that was it. Ronaldo to sub 4, that was the last one. I think I've done that as well. I'm not much mistaken, and indeed it looks correct. So let's see how it goes as Northern Burn take on Stanley in their beautiful away kit. Yeah, Ronaldo to the bench was the last one. I managed to not screw that up, so well done me. Um, yeah, let's kick this one off. Let's kick it off and see how it goes. Still confuses me why Stanley are in their change strip here, but there we go. Um, Stanley's had chances. Stanley has definitely had chances, but so has Northern Burn. It's still 0-0. Half of the first half is already gone. And Pencer comes forward, and there is Cosmin Contra opening the scoring for the home side, and it is Northern Burn. Ooh! It was Northern Burn sitting on that spot in the top six, but now Ndiaye has been sent off. Yeah, let's see what Ian's going to do here. I presume Scally down, Verong down, Ima central. That's my guess. Would be the change done by the manager here. To kind of fill in that gap, centralize, whatever it is. I can't remember what we're allowed to do. I'll allow pretty much anything at this point. Plus, I mean, what are you going to do? We'll see what Ian says here. He knows what his options are. Of course, Stanley, you can make Mike. You can make changes as well if you want. Arrows, push people forward, do whatever. Um, it's all good. There's just a couple of minutes left until halftime, but we will allow these changes to be done now rather than at 45. I mean, I presume Mr. Edwards is still around, just contemplating, pacing, and thinking about his options. What as mentioned, Scallion plays in the eye, the wrong, central without arrow. It's what I said, wasn't it? Is that not what I said? I think it's what I said. Skelly in place of Ndiaye, but wrong in Skelly's position. And Imar. And for Stanley, it is Semak and Savage, arrow to AMC. I think it's like this. Piling the pressure on Neil Scally here. Savage and Semak, arrow to AMC. Goody. Halftime coming up. Just around the corner. Scally picks up a yellow card. Stanley are piling forward. It looks as if they were piling forward. It doesn't seem to have registered in terms of shots on target, but here we are. There's a 5 for Robbie Savage, unsurprisingly. Some sevens and sixes. Esteban's on an 8. It's been a sort of a. I thought Stanley done better in the first half, to be completely honest, but apparently not. But here we are. If the manager wants to make any changes. Meanwhile, over at Northern Burn, I'm guessing it's going to be a roll for Mr. Edwards. Neil Scally's on a yellow. That's going to be cause for concern, but not much he can do, really. in terms of getting him out of the danger zone. Maybe swapping with Vieira, but probably I'm predicting a role from Northern Burn here, to be honest, and possibly for Stanley as well, at least until 60. But let's see what the managers have to say for themselves. Exciting stuff, though. Exciting stuff here in the last round of season 18, with that queue up for grabs. Currently in the hands of Northern Burn, which could slip away if Stanley were to equalize here, I guess. Ian says as is. Savage off of May. May arrows. Yes. Let's get some offside points on Ben May. Where is Savage? There we go. Things you love to see. The things you love to see. Let's see what Ben May can do in that position. Um, Fired up until 60. And let's see. Here comes Ben May with a long arrow. Big challenge by Ben May. First action of the second half was Aymar coming forward and Ben May making a wonderful challenge there, preventing a disaster for Stanley. Scally now comes forward. There's a throw in for them though. And it is goal for Stanley Del Piero, who is one of the top assist makers of this season, actually, in case you hadn't noticed. On the score sheet now, and it's two for Stanley. It is joy and celebration in the LSK camp for now, evening Fifey. Kit clash, yes indeed. Why is Stanley not in the original kit? I have no idea. Disaster on the hour mark for Northern Burn. Stanley have had two shots in the space of a couple of minutes, and both of them have gone in. Del Pierre and Guillermo. Mm. Oh no. Oh no, says Mark. Um, Putting the nail in the coffin of Northern Burns' dream of a spot in the playoffs here could be. Um, yeah, who got the assist? Guillermo and Paredes are the ones with the assists. Stanley definitely not throwing this game. Justin Walker and Ronaldo are the two players on the bench if Stanley wants to make any changes. Northern Burn. I mean, Neil Scally's on a 9. I don't know where the goals are. I don't know why Buffon is on a 6. We'll see if Ian wants to do anything. It's tricky here. I mean, gonna have to throw on uh, some arrows or some Robbie Keanes or some something. Move the wing backs up. I don't know what I would do here, but we'll see. We'll see what what Ian does. Or will it be a resigning as is and just trusting the process? We will see. Um, Semak for Ronaldo. Two up top, even it out. I guess like this. I guess this is what we're looking at. And we go back to Northern Burn, where Ian is still think, still thinking about what to do here. What else do we have left this evening? We have three games left, don't we? We have Stackington still to play. We have East Coast still to play, and is that it? Stackington and East Coast, are they the two we have left? I forget. It's difficult this when it's not so fresh in the memory. Um, I mean, curious. Ian must be writing. He must be planning something. Not entirely sure what, but surely something is coming. Um, let's see. Eimer off for Keen. Put the arrow back on. Wing back slightly longer arrows. Swap Barong and Vieira, please, and give Barong an arrow up to Impensa. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think that's what Northern Burn are going to go with. They have to find two goals in half an hour. It's going to be tricky. Um, if anyone can do it, it's probably Burn. Um, will it be enough? Time will tell. We keep it at fast. We keep it at fast. We keep it at exciting. And we will see. Here comes Cantillon. Quick goal for Burn would definitely put the pressure on and give some belief to the squad. But I mean, 5, 6 minutes played already, and they haven't had it yet. There comes Contra, though. Del Piero's there, unable to control the ball. Scally is fouled. Yellow card for Stanley. Impens in the area. Great challenge from Kerry Neville, of all people. Guillermo now strikes with fury down the other end for Stanley. There's 20 minutes left to play. Northern Byrne have to find a goal now. With 15 minutes left to play, you feel like it's got to come now, the equaliser. Otherwise, this is going to be very, very difficult to squeeze into the last 15. There's a corner kick. Contra comes forward. There's Campbell. But it wasn't to be. Now 10 minutes left to play. Northern Byrne looks as if they've run out of steam here, but they have definitely not lost the belief. There's Candela, there's Impensa again, unable to take advantage. And this time it's Vieira coming forward. Scally now has it. There's good combinations. Ooh, and it's an offside, just as if they look to get off a shot. Paredes jumps with Veron. It's down the other end for Stanley. Here is Ronaldo and Del Piero. It's Guillermo, but Buffon with the save. Had he not had that kind of bit of a brain freeze around 60 minutes, things could have been so much different. LSK still in it. You gotta say this is over for Byrne, unfortunately. Esteban manages to punch it clear. Brilliant performance from the Stanley keeper this evening as well. Georgic comes forward. There is May. May shows Campbell clean shell of heels. Will May do it, or Georgic even? Saved by Buffon. He lets it run free. And it is Paredes. Will it be the last chance of the game? It looks like it. Hits the crossbar. Northern Byrne comes down the other end. They can't hold on to the ball. Or can they? No. May strays offside. Byrne gets the ball again, but a foul is given. Candela delivers it forward, but it is all over. Northern Byrne have lost this one. 2-1 at home to Stanley. You thought they could have gotten a result here, but on the 60-minute mark, Buffon kind of lost his way a bit, and Stanley managed to run out 2-1 winners, extinguishing the dreams of a place in the playoffs for Northern Byrne. And it is now all LSK or exiles. Parade is getting a man of the match. He had the assist, plenty of tackles for him. Northern Byrne, unfortunate. Impenta with 2 shots, Contra with 2 shots. Vieira, they had shots, they had chances. Unfortunately, just those 2 goals. Um, yeah, that's it. That's it. There's nothing else really to say to that. Stanley picks up the win. Congratulations to them on a much improved season, and then commiserations to Northern Byrne. Not the way Ian would have liked to finish the season, but there you go. That's the Super League. Sometimes it is just the way that it is. Right, we have Alex against Steve. That's the Stackington game, and then we have Dimple against Steve. Right, coming up last. Let's do the Stackington first. It is whoever it was on for someone. Yeah, Cooper went out, and someone came on for him. I forget who it was. I'll be completely honest. Asun Sao, maybe Galka. I don't know, but it was one of them. Let me double check and see if I haven't messed anything up here. I'm sure Alex will put me straight if I have. But it looks as if it looks right, doesn't it? Just one change. As one sound, no, that was good. Um, I was expecting an octopus or 700 arrows or something like that. Poor effort to throw the game there. Staggington is as is Vikings. I think it's just a change on the bench. Mukuku comes onto the bench for the injured Eds de Barria. The Vikings in ninth place, a decent enough season, a bit up and down. They were better earlier on. There was a long-term injury to Shevchenko. I think when things went a little bit pear-shaped. They're in a change kit as well. Let's get this one up and running. So it's all right. Every time I had a chance, we've not been good enough all season. Just a little bit unlucky at times, I think. Good, lucky, who knows? At the end of the day, it's maybe more or less the same. What is it they say? The harder I try, the luckier I get. Gustavo Lopez opens the scoring on 12 seconds for Stackington. We approach the halftime mark, and it's Nedved, who had such a brilliant start to the season when he joined the Vikings, but has been quiet-ish since then. But he's brought it back. That's a 1-1. Interesting coming up to halftime. Kiotis with good save. Hersey goes forward, must score. He doesn't. Staggington scored with the only shot they've had. Vikings are 4-2. John Terry's on a 5. That's uncharacteristically poor from him. Everyone else is doing okay. Yepes, Arca. Where's Ruth Ferdinand? Does he normally not play? I don't know. Anyway, that's where we are with Vikings at the moment. Assist for Julio Arca, who's had an absolutely astonishing season. Um, can't say fairer than that. Rest, a little bit so-so. Sentence on a 6. So is a bunch of other people for Stackington. We'll see if manager wants him to make any changes. He has got Thomas Gravison on the bench for some reason. Patrick Kluivert is here as well. I forgot about that actually. 6-3. He's not done too bad. Chardell 7-1. Tricky. Jermaine Defoe. Jermaine Defoe has scored a few goals, but you've got to say you would expect to see Patrick Kluivert starting over Jardel at this point. We will see. Well, Mr. Edwards always a proponent for fair play and evenness. Jardel for Kluivert. Thank you for that. And please leave Gravison on the bench. We've reached the 60-minute mark. Or we've reached the 45-minute mark. Let's have another shot at this. Let's see how it goes. Nedved coming forward. Galka now comes forward to Stackington. And it's Emerton, it's Nedved. Both close from Nedved. Good combinations from Vikings here. Finding some form here right at the end of the season, perhaps. Um, Never had the impression they were easy to beat Vikings, but they also find it difficult to win. So it's been tough for them. But ninth, I mean, they would have hoped for more, but there we are in ninth place. Not a lot happening here in the second half. Vikings still playing better than their opponents, but not really capitalizing. Um, Not a bunch of firepower on the bench to bring on, so I guess it's all good for them. Stackington, meanwhile, Alex wants to roll. Yeah, Novotny, Gravison, they're not going to change anything for them, really, are they? So it's probably better just to see this one out. Okay, Galka picks up an injury. Guess we're going to have to see Thomas Gravison. Guess we're going to have to see Thomas Gravison play then. Never mind. Yeah, a bit of an injury there for Konstantin Galka. I guess Gravison is the obvious substitution. I'll just wait for Alex to confirm that. Gravison. In honor of Denmark absolutely trampling North Macedonia in the World Cup qualifiers, let's get Gravison on for the last 18 minutes. He might even get a goal, who knows? He was involved there. I saw his name, Grunke was there as well. There's a lot of Danish influences here. Let's see if any of them will make. No, they will not. 95 minutes, and that one is done. 23 free kicks. Oh my goodness, lots of offsides as well. So yeah, positive news for Stackington. In terms of in terms of not picking up any super long injuries. I think this was not too serious for Galka. And yeah, overall, not a terrible performance. Vikings. Yeah, this is how the season finishes for them. Unfortunate. But that's how it is. Now, for the main course, for the main event of the evening, for all the marbles, or for keeping Scott out of the playoffs, as you could. I don't know if that's an award in itself, making the playoffs or keeping Scott out of it. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. A couple of changes were done for East Coast here. Bartes is back in for Runye. I think Rustico comes in for Mendes as well. There was another change. Reyes comes on the bench for someone else. And who was on the bench before? I forget. Reyes on the bench for no Castroman on the bench for someone else indeed, and Gattuso comes on for Ambrosini, East Coast here, but it is a tough away game for them at Dudley. East Coast not had a brilliant run either. They win, they lose, they draw, they drew with Badgers, they lost to Stanley. But they have Bartes back, which is a big win for them, obviously, and Rustico as well. And they have got Curel, they have got Constantino, who's one of the top scorers of the league as well. Lots of firepower, lots of potential for East Coast to make it. But imagine if they don't make the final. I mean, that would be that would, would be. Oh, sorry, not make the playoffs. That would be something. Both East Coast and Northern Burn missing out on the playoffs. That means it's maybe time for a redraft. Who knows? Let's see. East Coast here. Up against Dudley Hill. And Stee, I think, is unchanged, if I remember rightly. They had a 1-1 draw with Exiles and 2-3-0 wins prior to that. Galco has definitely hit the ground running after joining us. That's 12 and 13, brilliant from him. And yeah, I guess Stam's decent as well. He's one of the older players. Turam as well. He has got a few of the older guys. Roberto Carlos not getting as many assists, but having a decent enough season. So here we are with a Dudley against East Coast. Good luck to both managers. Dudley, of course, could potentially I guess squeeze into second. Is it possible with Exiles losing big? I mean, Foss Road are too far away on goal difference, but I guess Dudley could hit second here. That would be a story. So plenty to play for. Good luck to both managers. I hope you're still here. Would love to see Scott make it into the playoffs ahead of Dimble. Make it 2 and 3 chance of a new manager getting a star. I mean, that's a fair point. That is a fair point. Let's kick off the first half. It is Dudley against East Coast for for many things, for second place, for sixth place, for a lot of different things. Let's see. Good luck to both managers. It's gonna be exciting, I think. Dudley Hill with all of the pressure and all of the chances in the first 5 or 6 minutes, and it is that man, Maxim Tigalco, who opens the scoring at the moment. Northern Burn and East Coast are both out of the playoffs, and Scott squeezes in thanks to a spectacular run of games. 6 wins in 7 towards the end of the season has put untold pressure on the teams above him, and it looks as if they are slowly cracking. East Coast here will have to perform miracles in the second half to get back into this one. It looks as if Dudley have been in total control. We reached the half-hour mark. 5 shots, 2 on target. East Coast 3, and not a single one has troubled the Dudley Hill keeper. East Coast stats say Elise is on an 8. Unsurprisingly, he has been extremely good all season. But where are the goals going to come from? Constantino has had 2 shots, none of them on target. Look at Robin out on that side. I am always one to sing Robin's praises, but he has been terrible in that first half, and that is costing East Coast dearly. They have Reyes, they have Castroman, they have the Silva on the bench who can come on and potentially change things. Will the manager do something at 45? That is debatable though, but I and Robin, something has to go here. Del Vecchio gets pulled for Reyes. That's the East Coast change. Del Vecchio off. Where is he? For Reyes, that is the change from East Coast here at 45 minutes. Yeah, that's a solid Robin, by the way. 4 shots for Sigalko, no assists for anyone. He's doing it all by himself. We've got Stam on a 6, Simeone on a 6, and Roy Mackay on a 6. Riquelme is sitting there on the bench wondering why Roy Mackay is running around in front of him, but yeah, he is maybe a little bit more. He's not had a brilliant time at Dudley. Riquelme, to be honest. Roy Mackay there has done okay, got a couple of assists, and Nicky Farengo's probably going to stay on until forever. Rossini's there as well. He's not had a poor season. Or has he? Oh, he's just joined. That's right. He came. Roll to 60, says Steve. Let's do that. Bring it back down to fast. And let's see if Reyes will be the man that changes things for East Coast. They're going to have to do something soon. They're in a similar position to. Soon they'll be in a similar position to Northern Burn earlier. Things go from bad to worse for Iron. Robin picks up a yellow there. They're going to have to find 2 goals in a short space of time. Now they're going to have to find 3. It was Mackay who I wanted to pull, who's made it 2 for Dudley, who are now heading towards second spot. Pippin exiles to that. Here comes Tigalco with a swerving shot that has gone over. We're on the hour mark. East Coast have yet to have a single shot on target. They need to score 3 goals in the last 30 minutes against Dudley Hill, who have the strongest defense in the league. That ain't on the cards, but you never know. Barthez is on a 5, Lassisi's on a 5. Crumbling under pressure are the East Coast players here on this evening away at Dudley Hill. Reyes has come on, he's on a 6. Iron Robin, absolutely astonishing that he's on a 6 with that performance. I mean, look at Lassisi, 12 and 8, 2 and 2. He's missed a header, but he's on a 5. Iron Robin, who's been completely anonymous, completely crumbled, is somehow getting a 6. That is terrible. Bartes doing a Bartes. All of the most reliable keepers fail at the terrible, terrible moments. That's why you all need Casillas. Let's see, East Coast tactics. Say Elias up to MC, centralize, get 2, so diagonal error on Kowalchuk. There we go. East Coast with the last roll of the dice here. Let's see how that works out for them. Dudley Hill, meanwhile, looks like this. Chicalco still taking all the shots, apart from Roy Mackay, who's been allowed a couple. No fitness issues. Everyone's on 7s and 8s. 2-0 up. He's got a stick, hasn't he? Do you have anyone to protect from a 7th yellow, Steve, or anything? Looks all good. Fitness, Everyone's happy and healthy. Even Cafu's on 83. I mean, looks all good. Very little assists every game I score. I mean, with Sigalko, they're just kind of like doing stuff on their own. So strange. Oh, we'll have to look at the match report and see if you're being hard done by. We'll do that at the end. Resume the match and see. There's 30 minutes left to play. East Coast are going to need an absolute howler from Headman and the rest of the boys at Dudley Hill. Red cards galore to the defenders. 25 minutes left to play now. It is Sabrata coming forward. Simeone does well. Cafu does something. Rustico gets a yellow card. Definitely not what East Coast wanted. They want the cards being dealt out to Dudley players, not to their own folk. I love to see Scott's face at the moment. Scott, take a selfie and put it in there. Put it in the old manager chat, maybe, with your feelings right now. Um, He'll probably be playing Exiles, by the way, as it stands. I guess third against sixth, if I remember rightly. 15 minutes left to play. This isn't going anywhere for East Coast, to be completely honest. Monster defense of Dudley with Headman in goal. That's not breaking. I don't see it breaking this evening. Easy chance for Sigalko. That's three, and that is curtains for East Coast. Oh, it's not. It's Emerson was offside. Sigalko will be raging. And it's Robin. Robin decides at the very last moment to do something, but runs out a lot. And East Coast are running out of time. Just the added time to continue to consider now. Something about rock solid defense. It certainly looks like it. Cafu comes into the 6 yard box, but nothing happens. Sambrota now with a chance for East Coast. Their season is ending along with Northern Burns. Outside of the playoffs, it will be LSK who squeezes in, gets that last spot. Drama to the very last here on the last evening of the regular season in the Super League. Let's see. Cherry on the cake. Nope. 9 shots, 4 on target. East Coast not a single shot on target. 16 whatever fouls, a bunch of free kicks, offsides everywhere. Um, Rustico gets a 9. Attacking, they just couldn't break it down. They just could not break them down. That was the problem for East Coast this evening. It was the defensive display of guys like Stam, of Biscan, of Turam, Roberto Carlos. Um, Simeone gets Man of the Match award on a 9. The goals for Tigalco and Mackay. I mean, let's have a look at the goals. Let's see if there was any assists. Um, Loose ball for Tigalco and the Mackay goal, wherever it was. Loose goal, pot shot. Nah, no assists, no assists. And this is how it finishes. Badgers lose to Fulchester. It doesn't really matter because below them, other things happen. Dudley beats East Coast, who finished 7th. Foss Road go up to 4th after beating Exiles, who finished 3rd. Los Santos beats Haggis, finished 6th. Northern Burn, 8th place, loses Stanley, who goes to 10th. Sloths beat Sanctay, and Stackington beats the Vikings. Dudley Hill 2nd. Oh, what is this? Let's have a look at the league stage instead, and enjoy this. I think probably one of the tightest tables that we've ever had in the Super League. Badgers on 46, only 2 wins effectively ahead of Los Santos on 40 points. So it will be Badgers against Dudley Hill at some point somewhere in the preliminary, all of this kind of stuff. Um, for the league win again. But I guess the story of the season is that finish from Los Santos. I mean, they were in the top 6 before in like round whatever. A long time ago. Conceded one more over the season than the record me and Jens hold too. Yeah, solid defensive display. Um, is that something about a Haggis thing? I can't remember. He's always going on about something. Anyway, Los Santos, who were nowhere near the top 6 for months, finally squeezed in last day of the season or last game of the season. Dudley Hill, who have been in second before, also gets second spot. Not a lot of time spent there, only 3 weeks in that spot. Exiles, terrible for them. They've had a lot of time in the top 2, finishes just below it. Stackington, I guess. Oh, I guess I can just click here, can't I? And see how these people are doing. Badgers, yeah, that was coming. Dudley, brilliant. Exiles, shame. Foss Road, steady, at least in the second half of the season. Stackington, good. Good for you, Alex. Good for you. Los Santos, absolutely brilliant story. East Coast, I mean, it was always on the card that things were going to be tricky for Northern Byrne. The same story. They were actually only 5 weeks in the top six out of the whole season. That is insane. Vikings started well, finished badly. Stanley, I mean, it was okay. It was fun. Anyway, Fulchester, it looked kind of okay in the beginning and also fell off. Haggis, that was a terrible season for them. Sloths won a game and had a bad time. Sancte, no, that was no fun at all. That's how it is sometimes. Let's not dwell too much on that. Thank you very much for joining. I'll get back to you with a schedule. We'll do it soon. We'll do it soon, I'm sure. All this kind of grand final stuff. Um, I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Take care, everyone. Thank you for this evening. I'll speak to you all soon. Good night.